And I'm Jesse Hurlburt.
Welcome to Arthropod Adventures. Season 4, Episode 7, the Living Under the Pavement.
Good. The one that lives under the pavement.
The one that lives under the pavement.
Today's arthropod, as the name suggests, is typically and famously found under sidewalks and patios, and they're found in quite large numbers.
What?
And then what are we always going to say?
Can you guess what it is? Today's episode brings us to the world of the pavement ant. And yesterday...
And yes.
And yes, as the name
Suggests.
It is often found up
Under
pavement or
patios.
patios as
Across
the
eastern and southern United States. Good job, Chuck. Their scientific name is Tetramorium caespitum. Want to try that one? Tetramorium.
Tetramorium.
Caespitum. Good. Now, the genus Tetramorium, from what I could find, Charlie, comes from two Greek word origins, meaning tetra, meaning four, and morium, meaning part. Now, I could not find a definitive reason behind this genus name, but this one suggestion I saw had something to do with the parts of the mandible. And the species name, caespitum, has Latin origins meaning ground. Which as an ant makes sense because they live
underground.
Yeah.
And they dig holes in the grass.
Yeah. We get a lot of ants on our grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In summer, we had my brother just left food all over the steps, and then ants came. There was one, and then all the ants came up, and they're just rocking. We had to go somewhere, and then we had to carefully go this pathway because the ants are everywhere on this.
Yeah, the ants at our house live a pretty good life thanks to you and Jude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jude
All right.
probably stepped on it.
And like many of the arthropods we have discussed on the podcast before, these insects are not native. They actually come from Europe and were brought over here a few hundred years ago, but are now found pretty widespread in our area. And if you're not familiar with the invertebrate pet life, we have a lot of invertebrate pets, right? Beetles and millipedes, right?
And snake.
Well, snakes are not invertebrates. Snakes are vertebrates, but we got snakes too.
Yeah.
So, if you're unfamiliar, if there's an invert you want as a pet, chances are that it's already out there or something very similar. And the ants are no different. And I'm not talking about your average run-of-the-mill ant farm, which you should totally not own because those ones that I grew up wanting are terrible things. And they're just mindlessly killing the ants. And we don't want to do that.
We have big ants, but they're very big. They're bigger than ants in my brother's room. And they're so big, but they're not alive.
Yes, so those are bullet ants. And those are the largest ants in the world. And Uncle Stefan made that display for me.
Okay, so he made the ants.
Well, he didn't make the ants. He pinned the ants. But those are real ants. Those are the largest ants in the whole world.
They were dead.
Yeah, they've been dead for a long time.
100 years.
So, if you do want ants, we suggest you find a reputable dealer, but the ant that we're talking about today is one that is in the pet hobby trade. So some of the information today definitely came from some of those resources. Do you want to try, Char?
There are small,
adorable
ants that are just
Hold on, that doesn't make any
dark.
sense. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I wrote that. So they are brown or black in color and...
Brown or black in color. Wait, you just wrote that.
It's okay.
Are only
2 to 4 millimeters long.
That...
Right.
2
to 4.
4 millimeters if you were were linked.
So what we're trying to say is if we were to examine up close their head, right, we would see parallel lines or ridges that run lengthwise. You know what parallel means?
No.
It means the lines are equally spaced next to each other. So if I put my hands like this, Char, like I'm about to clap, these lines would be running parallel. And these ridges run down the lengthwise, up and down, not side to side, across the head. And you will also, if you continue looking at the head features here, Char, we'll also find raised ridged areas around where their antennas connect to their bodies. And these antennas have how many segments?
12.
12 segments. And then at the end of their antennas, they have a
3
segmented
club at the end.
Good job.
They
also
have a
narrow waist. So that means
waist.
like, you know where your waist is? Yeah, right there. So in an ant, the waist is where the thorax connects to the thorax, abdomen, head, thorax, abdomen, right? So where the thorax connects to the abdomen, that's the waist. Now, in this ant species, it's two-part, the petiole and the postpetiole. And these ants also, this kind of makes it look almost to me like waspish with the way these two waists connects the two body parts. And they also, Charlie, have a stinger, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and according to the University of Florida article written by Tyler Vittone and Andrea Lucky, and I quote, hold on, I gotta quote these people because they did the work. And I quote, "These ants have a stinger that is modified and broadened distally into a triangular flag, likely making this appendage less effective as a defensive stinger, but providing more surface area for the application of trailing pheromones." End quote. So it just kind of gives you a little bit of information about how they have this stinger, but it may not be as effective as a weapon and used for a few other different things.
Well, they only put their stingers out if people are bothering them.
Yeah, well, that's why we don't like to bother things. It's like bees and wasps,
I never got stung.
Well, let's knock on wood, because it's not a fun feeling, but as long as we're kind and respectful, right? Yeah. So, do you want to read?
Our bees like to drink. We have flowers, but they're dead right now, and they're when it was my birthday party, when I'm walking by to go in the pool, all bees are getting the nectar.
Yeah, they were, right? That's the catnip.
Yeah.
Right by the
pool. They also got the flowers.
Yeah, we got all the bee balm and all that. Plant native, right? We always like to plant native things for the most part. You like to eat all the bee balm. No. So, in their homes or their colony, Charlie, there's usually only one queen, and her workers, for the most part, live there as well. Now, I didn't know this, but I also read that there's some suggestions that there could even be a second queen. What's your question?
You told me that the king bee stays alive and while the other bees are dead. And
the queen bee. There are no king bees. Male bees are useless creatures. Just like male ants are useless. We'll get to that in a minute. Because who runs the world?
Girls.
Who runs the world? Who runs the world? Girls, right? That's right. In the animal kingdom. No, not boys. In the animal kingdom,
boys.
Girls run the world.
Girls.
Girls. Like that Beyonce song, right?
Yes, I heard that in the comments.
You heard that, did you? All right. So I did see suggestions that there could be 2 or even a few more active queens in the hive, which would lead to much larger hive numbers. Now, the queens are much larger than her workers. I read somewhere between 5 to 8 millimeters, about twice the size, which is about, we always think about the queens of something being larger, because who runs the world?
Yes.
So, when the timing is right, typically late summer, although times do vary, the queen will produce future queens and male ants. And these ones will have wings, Charlie. That's how you know it's either going to be a future queen or a male. And they will go off and swarm to find one another. And once the mating has finished, they will lose those wings. Here, you want to read? The mated
family.
Female
Will have eggs.
Enough.
enough
genetic material
for the male to make her young for the
entirety
of her life. She will not need to mate again.
So imagine this. She's going to lay tens of thousands of eggs, and she just gets her genetic material one time from that swarm, and that's it. Kind of crazy, right? And from what I read, these colonies are huge, Charlie. Their numbers reach into the thousands, possibly over 10,000.
When a polar bear stands up on its feet, it's at least 10 feet.
Yeah, polar bears are large creatures.
They're the biggest bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of wild, right? And according to the University of Florida article I quoted before, we get a good idea about how big their nests are, and I quote, "The majority of nests occupy 1.2 to 4.8 meters squared in an area and are 0.45 to 0.9 meters deep." And quote. So that's 2-foot-ish by 2-foot-ish, about 2-3 feet down. That's a pretty good size. And these ants are pretty good eaters, Charlie. They will forage for just about anything they can find. Fellow arthropods, seeds, maybe some Jude and Charlie scraps along the way. And I saw an estimate that some of these ants will travel as far as in a 35 meter radius, which is a pretty good distance for such a small ant.
They walk more than us, probably.
Probably, yes, because they're always working and moving.
Only in the summer.
Yeah.
In the spring.
And apparently, these ants are not shy about fighting and defending their territory. During the late spring and early summer, they can be found fighting rival colonies. Now, Charlie, this brings me back to summer camp. You know when you're walking up the path and you have the bridge that's on your right? Multiple summers in a row, I have witnessed on the sidewalk these huge piles of ants that looked like they were fighting. And I never really grasped what was happening. You do a quick Google. Auntie Chet and I used to look at this. And now, after researching this thing, I think that those are pavement ants, and I think they are fighting. So this summer coming up, let's be on the lookout for those. And you too at home. And for such a small ant, they are truly a fun species, and I can see why people would want to keep them as a pet.
Because Jude will just, when you take them out, he'll just...
Well, you wouldn't take out pet ants. They stay inside there.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Do you want to read? Right? Talk about their lifespan.
Ants, their
lifespan.
Their lifespan is much longer than I would have thought, with work living for up to 5 years and the queen male maybe up to 15, which is wild to think about. Ants will later leave you with one last interesting facts that
I'm going to leave you this one. I think you're going to like this, Char. These ants can be aggressive and super protective of their colony, but that protectiveness also extends to the occasional caterpillar. Did you know that? So the ants protect this caterpillar from being eaten or stomped on, or whatever. Probably not stomped on. They can't do much about a human foot, but they protect the caterpillar from getting eaten. And in return, in this little symbiotic relationship, the caterpillar provides this sweet nectar that the ants then drink.
Blech.
Well, I mean, maybe blech for you, but imagine if you just had a caterpillar that was just giving you juice, and you just had to keep it safe, but it was like whatever juice you want.
I'll have orange juice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right?
That'd be cool.
So the next time you're walking down the sidewalk, we want you to keep an eye out for some small ants, and depending on the time of year, be on the lookout for those flying or fighting ants.
Jude.
Anything else you want to add?
Beyonce said Beyonce.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
If you have an arthropod you would love to hear about, want to tell us what you think about the show, or found one of our mistakes, send us an email at arthropodadventurespodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at arthropod_adventures_podcast and follow us there. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Never stop learning. Show your show notes and never stop learning.
Stay inquisitive.
And never stop learning.
And always check out the show notes you're ready.